Welcome back to TheChowTimePod. It's your host, Red. I got a video today from FBE Capital. Why women shame men for having boundaries and standards. The rise of Midtown. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate it. Let's get that chow. It's chow time.
Other people don't need to understand or agree with your boundary in order to respect it.
We live in a world where women like to talk about boundaries and respect non-stop.
Setting boundaries.
How do you set the boundary?
There is a beautiful thing called boundaries.
That needs to be respected.
However, when men define their boundaries,
I don't want a girl that shows too much skin.
they are met with nothing but anger and ridicule.
If the guy doesn't want his girl to dress a certain way, he must be very insecure and probably have trust issues.
Your man is getting on to you about what you can and can't wear. They got small dick energy.
This gives small dick energy. Small dick energy.
I think a man should be proud of anything. Like, there's my woman, and she's doing whatever the she needs to do. She looks good, and people are loving her, especially women.
If guys want to purchase a site to see me post pictures I feel confident, why is that a bad thing?
Like my actual boyfriend, he was absolutely fine with it. He couldn't be more supportive, yeah.
How she's basically advertising for the entire public to see. I don't like that.
Why does that bother you? Why does that bother you? If it bothers you, then that's something deep that you need to go searching within yourself. Insecure.
He's so deeply insecure, and it's all about control.
He would always say, I have the hottest woman in the world. Why would I not want to share?
Now, if you go online and you look at a girl's account, and first of all, she's got the cleavage everywhere. But if you just scroll down a little bit, you can see exactly what her nipples look like. I don't want a woman like that.
Explain to me how it's not because you're insecure. Men are jealous of women.
That is just a manipulative tactic to take away from the spotlight that is her poor behavior.
Gonna settle.
It's as if these women were divine beings or goddesses or freaking the president or something that just gracing us with their presence, and us being near them or around them gives us like this uncontrollable joy. What the fuck are they talking about? Most of the time I'm with women, I'm almost always annoyed.
Not settling for people who do not deserve us.
Being mentally aware and emotionally intelligent enough.
Yeah, good luck with that. Anyways, society has now crafted this disgusting recurring narrative that if you see how this works, it's the exact same word. However, when it comes to women, it is used to justify their actions and feelings.
Like your feelings matter, so that you feel prioritized and cared for and important.
But for men, it is simply used to call them a loser.
Insecure men, heal yourself.
That comes down to an insecurity in their ego.
So it's very clear that this game is rigged and you should definitely stop playing by the rules.
Yeah.
Because even though most modern women love to complain about the importance of boundaries, they sure as don't respect them themselves.
Tell the truth, I haven't played by the rules since I joined the movement of Red Pill, learning everything. It's crazy how different women treat you when you don't treat them nicely anymore. When you treat them as if they're almost insignificant in your life.
I thought about not telling you guys this story because it's an embarrassing story for me and for my husband, but I'm gonna tell it.
So if I were to ask him, hey, I thought I asked you to pick up the kitchen last night. Oh, well, you only told me to clean the bottles, and I did clean the bottles. You didn't tell me to put the food away, and you didn't tell me to clean up the rest of it.
Welcome back to Like My Boyfriend Does, a series.
Yeah.
Clean up the kitchen means the whole goddamn kitchen? Like, are you serious? You serious?
Yeah, all wonderful partners that every man is dying to be with. Please drop a like on the video if you think that social media is rotting away the brains of modern women, and comment down below what you think. Especially the ones who are blasting their husbands online instead of just talking to them like
we cover that a lot.
I mean, I can understand a 14-year-old being an idiot online, but come on, a 30 or 40-year-old woman should really know better than to do this.
I probably should not have told the story about my husband going to the bar.
Now, before we get into the absurdity of running to TikTok to complain about your spouse and shame them online for the entire world to see, let's first define the word boundary, shall we? And ironically, Whitney Cummings actually hits the nail on the head with this one.
Boundaries aren't for them, they're for you. And if someone violates your boundary, you don't set another boundary, you remove yourself from the situation.
Exactly. And so you see, as a man, you must always set your boundaries on your own life and relationships way before you enter into relationships, regardless of the BS narrative that society is pushing on you. Since society wants nothing more than to turn men into obedient lapdogs to be exploited for monetary gains and be completely humiliated.
And then I cheated on him with like 4 guys. I was always open and honest about it.
I was heartbroken, to say the least.
And we made him sit and watch. I thought I'm having my fun first.
I did feel a bit left out, yeah.
Yeah, he seems to be enjoying himself. So clearly, boundaries are essential for man's sanity and self-respect, which brings us to the first classic case of boundaries, and that is the posting or liking of promiscuous photos on social media.
If your boyfriend is liking other girls' pictures, specifically bikini picture or thirst trap picture, then you need to run.
I would absolutely throw a fit, and I would tell them that that is not acceptable in my book.
How girls find it disrespectful when their boyfriends are liking other girls' pictures.
This is not about being insecure. This is not about being insecure.
Now, it is obviously hilarious that so many women have an issue with men liking sexy photos of other women, but it's those same women who see no problem whatsoever in posting those photos.
If guys want to purchase a site to see me post pictures I feel confident, why is that a bad thing? I genuinely think when you're in a relationship with a guy, they should only like your pictures. It just is a reminder that my boyfriend took the time to look at this girl's picture, and he in his head was like, that's a nice picture.
So that guys can...
You took the time to take the picture, look at it, and then post it for everybody else to like and comment. I think on his end, it's a lot easier to just look for a picture and then hit like than you to take a picture, pose, and then post it.
Understand how embarrassing it actually is.
This girl is literally standing here half naked, explaining to men how incredibly disrespectful it is to like a photo of a half-naked woman. This is absolute irony at its finest, and it proves that for women, boundaries are a one-way street. Because millions of women complaining about this very fact clearly proves that women do understand the problem of posting slutty photos. However, what they don't like is to give up that sweet dopamine rush that they get from posting those photos, and all the male validation that comes with that.
What is the currency for women on social media? Attention. And you are looking, when you post those posts, what are you looking for? You're looking for the likes, the comments.
From who?
Other men. Satisfaction from getting them from women is not the same as getting them from men. You're gonna get those DMs, and you're gonna put yourself in that position to disrespect your man.
Yep. So all of this proves that as a man, you should never tell a woman not to post slutty photos online, because you simply shouldn't even be with her since she's already broken.
Thirst trap season is coming.
Agreed.
It's arrived. It's here.
I think the reason I grabbed my whole face by the horns and needed it so bad was because I had put all my eggs in a basket of a relationship, and I did it way too fast, and I got really over, and it ended up biting me in the butt, and I was...
So you tried it once, it failed, and you gave up and just became a slut. This is what I'm hearing from a lot of women right now. That they tried out one little relationship and it didn't work out. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go out there and just fuck everything I see. And that's the better choice. Instead of trying again, maybe, and trying to find a better man.
Absolutely heartbroken, destroyed.
You know what this means? This means you can post the sluttiest, most cringiest snap to get his attention. So don't do it!
A woman who posts her ass, tits, and vag online has no self-respect, and if she doesn't even respect herself, then why the hell would she ever respect you or the relationship?
Do not sign your youth away to some man who's not going to matter in 4 years.
See what I mean? Now, women will try to frame it as if men are trying to control them, but that is not at all what's happening. Men are simply saying, hey, if this is what you want to engage in, then you are not for me. That's all. Which women will then label as pick-me girls or trad wives, as if that's somehow a bad thing to do.
So I wouldn't exactly consider myself a modern woman because living a modern lifestyle never empowered me. But the more I got back to tradition, the more I rejected the lifestyle of the modern woman, I found more fulfillment.
Oh, so refreshing. And yes guys, these girls do exist. They're just very, very hard to find. Now this all stems from the fact that modern women have been brainwashed by society into thinking that women have to do absolutely nothing to be attractive to men and then still deserve the best possible men out there. Which is why when they hear a guy say, I only date virtuous and kind women who take care of themselves, these women will lose their shit.
You're pathetic. And if you're straight, good luck having a successful relationship.
An insecure man would never be able to handle a strong, confident woman.
It's the weak men. It's the weak men that can't handle a strong woman.
First thought that comes to mind is that is a very weak man. Very weak man.
I mean, just take a second about how broken society is when women are getting absolutely furious when other women say they want to be virtuous or they want to be feminine and stay-at-home moms.
Like, it drives me crazy. I hate it.
And I think it's a really dangerous thing when you unironically and uncritically idolize a time like the 1950s.
I think one of the things that drives me the most insane about these trad wives or these like conservative women who are like cosplaying the trad life,
or even just women who are like staying home and cooking and cleaning is so much better than being a corporate baddie.
Being like, I would love this. I would love to just like cook and clean all day for my man.
That is now somehow the essence of evilness. That's crazy. But it's all because of one simple reason, which is fear. The fear of rejection. Because what guy is going to choose an abrasive, trashy woman that sleeps around over a nice, wholesome girl?
Yeah, my tits are out. It's fine. They're a part of my body.
Oh, I 100% what FBE is getting at. Yes, is because they don't match the boundaries. I said this before. This is why women are so upset about men's boundaries. As soon as you tell them your boundaries, they already know they don't qualify. And when they don't qualify, that is a rejection. That's an automatic rejection that they can't do anything about. And it's a rejection through their own choices, not because they look a certain way or, you know, through things that they can't control. They could have controlled not sleeping around. They could have controlled not being a big woman. They could control your fucking mouth.
And if you don't like them, don't look.
No one. Which is why modern women want to shame men into letting go of their boundaries so that they don't get constantly rejected.
When the devil can't reach you, he sends you a man. A medium ugly white man that is going to break your heart and give you 5 years of trauma.
This is the guy who was supposed to f me last night on my birthday. You. The fact that you ghosted me on my birthday, I don't understand it. And what makes it even more annoying is I wasn't even that interested.
Yeah, I'm gonna call bullshit on that. Isn't it funny that every time they get rejected, it's somehow some basic white guy who was bad in bed, balding, and just plain boring, not good enough.
Almost always.
Somehow they still managed to chase this dude for 3 months into some f***ed up situationship.
If you are wasting your time on some mediocre white man who is giving you less than the bare minimum.
Anyways, next to this fear of rejection, another reason why modern women will shame men for having boundaries and standards is the fact that when women say the word boundary, what they hear is, please respect my feelings. But when they hear a man say the word boundary, all they hear is, things I'm not allowed to do. Which is why modern women absolutely hate men with standards, since it limits their ability to be slutty, fat, and obnoxious.
Yep.
So if you're one of these fat baddies like me, who put up with terrible like this from men, please stop! There is no D that is good enough.
It's all about the person's personality. Everything is not all about looks.
He's been trying to convince himself to find me attractive because I had such a good personality.
It basically forces women to work on themselves and maintain their femininity, which actually requires some effort. And so it's much easier to just call men insecure and misogynist for setting the most basic standards possible. Men are not asking women to make $100K a year or magically grow to be 6'4". All that men ask is for women to be kind, feminine, and virtuous. Something that literally every single woman on the planet can achieve, but somehow that is still too much. Now, on top of this, there's a very interesting phenomenon going on in the modern age of dating and relationships, which is the normalization of absolute depravity.
It was both of our ideas for me to seek other partners. We came to that conclusion together.
No, you
Talking
didn't.
about Elisa seeing or dating other men is one thing. Actually, like physically seeing her with someone else is going to be a bit of a challenge and a bit different. A whole new bag of emotions, a little more jealousy, more uncertainty. Kind of have to keep reminding myself, like, this is what I wanted.
Oh yeah, it's pretty bad. Now, what all of these relationships have in common are two simple things. 1, no respect whatsoever for the husband or boyfriend, and 2, having complete confidence that that idiot will not leave her. Because I guarantee you, only women who are confident enough that their loser husband or boyfriend will not leave them will have the balls to even suggest an extra man in the relationship. And this brings us to the crux of this story, since society is simply out there to break men down and to force them to be happy with a masculine, obnoxious wife who's allowed to sleep around whenever she feels like it. This was Why Women Shame Men for Having Boundaries. Please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for more.
Shout outs to FBE Capital, always doing wonderful, Chow. Yeah, double standards. This is probably the biggest double standards out of all double standards, is boundaries. Please subscribe down below. I really appreciate that, and I'll catch you guys next time. Ciao.